Hi guys, welcome to another video by Tram Vegan and Frodo. Thanks for being here again on my channel. Awesome to see you here again. So today's video is about tips, which is basically giving cycling tips for people who are starting out maybe with cycling or been doing cycling for a little while and wanting to get into the long heavy distances, right? Like as you may be aware, I've recently done a 24-hour bike ride, which was really like under 24 hours, but it was still like considerable, and it was over 400 k's, and it's for me at the time, like, it's definitely like a distance that I haven't done before, so it's pretty epic. It was pretty epic. And because I am now prepping for my next one, for my next 24-hour ride, which will be significantly longer than 400 k's, so there's just, there's this time where you regroup and think about what is it that would make the last ride successful, and what would you do to improve on your time, to improve on your performance, improve on your case. So there are different things that we can talk about, and there's definitely like very helpful to think about what kind of ride you're doing, whether it's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 6, whatever. Like, because when you're getting into those longer distances, there are different kind of techniques you can say that you're using compared to the 100k rides, because 100k rides, like, they're not actually that long. Like, they're 4-hour, 5-hour max kind of rides. So something that's important to think about is definitely the weather and the route that you're going to take. So in terms of the weather, I live in Australia, as you may know, at the moment, so it's pretty hot. It's pretty damn hot. It's summer, so it is so important to have good sun cover. So basically have your sunnies, have your, or like a little cap thing, because that is just gonna like drive you mad if you're out on a bike for 20 hours and there's freaking, for 12 of those hours there's sun in your eyes. Number two is having really good sunscreen, like 35 SPF, like 35 or SPF 50 would be excellent. And the hydration, I have talked about this before, I've showed it around before as well, but these little camel backpacks, they're so good. Like, in the beginning I used to think that, like, oh my god, why would I spend like extra money? I can just ride with a regular backpack and carry water. But these guys, they're so helpful because of this little tube that they have that you just like suck on like while you're riding, and it's just so convenient, and you don't have to like stop, and it's just on your back. And as well as, if you have that and you have 2 of your bottles, it's like, you have 4 liters of water with you, and in Australian summer it's so important. Okay, so we did hydration. Something else that is very important is food, and having your snacks covered so it doesn't take you, forever and ever. You're not running around wasting your time, which could be spent stretching, which could be spent like recovering, which could be spent like riding really, to get more K's in, on like working out what you're eating or where you're eating or whatever. Something that I should probably start doing a little bit more of, but it's very helpful. Like, I go for Cliff Bars and Leather Bars quite a bit, but this is something that's more like natural. I don't know if you can probably see it somewhat properly, but this is like raisins and currants and some nuts mix, and there's like some dried bananas, there's like a couple of dried pineapple things yesterday. So this is me prepping for my ride tomorrow. So doing some ride with some friends for a few hours, so it'll be cool. It'll be a nice little snack. So definitely it is very important. See, it's also very important not to completely exhaust you on the first 5 hours. Like, look, if you're only doing 3-hour or 2-hour bike ride, like, okay, you can go full gas as hard as you can. But if you're out on a bike for like, you're planning to be riding for 20 or 22 hours of the day, like, you need to be using your energy sparingly. You need to be looking after your body and kind of making sure that you're not completely wasting yourself in the first hour. So it's definitely one as well, just to kind of pacing yourself is so important. But it is also a lot of mental work. Like, it's all in your brain, kind of working out what is it that I want to do, how fast, like, that's another thing, actually, I'll go into it in a minute. But yeah, like, kind of staying on point, having that number of Ks that you want to get done, or the 24 hours that you want to ride for. Just really like concentrate on that, focus, and it's just really kind of having that kind of straight up focused vision that you just, nothing else exists almost. It's really good to also let your mind relax a little bit. If you have some audiobooks that you like to listen to, or podcasts, like obviously go for that. Or you can just listen to some music, which can always be fun and can be interesting, and just really kind of makes you just shut off everything else, and you're completely just focused on whatever it is that's like in that music. On my last ride, I was listening to like a lot of instrumental trance. Like I've lately been like listening so much to it. I feel like I just connect with that kind of music, and it was the 432 hertz frequency music as well. Like that really relaxes your mind, relaxes your muscle. It just like does something funny on the like kind of frequency, spiritual, you know, subconscious level that is just great. Like I feel very connected. I feel really like I'm floating elsewhere, and my body is doing the work just that it needs to get done. I was also listening to a lot of happy, hardcore kind of songs that like kind of, but it's like really, really happy. And I was never actually into that kind of stuff, but that I've been like cycling a lot, and like one of my friends is really into it. So I just started listening to it, and it's like, I find that it's great personally for me, like for cycling, it works great. But like, you know, generally whatever music you're into, just listen to that as well, because you know our brain is like an organ which takes a lot of energy to like deal with a lot of stuff, process things, and sometimes it is nice just to be able to completely like basically completely shut it off. Like yes, pay attention to everything that happens around you, pay attention to cars, pay attention to all these different things, but you know, sometimes you just like shut it off, focus on the task that you need to get done physically, and off you go. And like I find personally for me, listening to music, like maybe okay, it's a little bit wasting that time, you know, I could be, you know, learning something, and sometimes I do, but sometimes I'm just in a mood to just listen to music for the whole day and just smash out some Ks because it feels incredible. So we talked about that. We talked about the mental stuff, the actual logistics of things, and what I will do for my next ride, my next 24-hour ride that's coming up, is work out kind of what is your happy medium speed that you're going to be able to kind of hold on for that kind of time. You know, if you have a power meter, obviously you're looking at your wattage and how much output you can do. But right now I don't have one. I just go off on speed, I go off on the gradient, I go off at the temperature and all these other things. And kind of really just feeling your body and seeing what is it willing to do, and how much you're willing to push it to get it to do what you want it to do, basically. So you work out how many hours you want to ride for. Like if you want to ride for 15 hours, if you want to ride for 19 hours of the day, if you want to ride for 22 hours of the day. You also got to remember that you will need to have your bathroom breaks, and it's important that you go into the bathroom, like you're drinking enough water, because like especially in the hot like kind of conditions, you just sweat it all out. Like so it's important to kind of make sure that you do go to the bathroom, and make sure that you actually incorporate it in your time. Finding food, potential, I don't know, punctures, things like that. Also, you work out your speed, like so you know the time that you're going to be cycling for. For example, if you're riding for 24 hours, you can give yourself 3 hours on your dinner, on your lunch, and on your snacks, on your bathroom breaks, on your whatever else kind of breaks, stretches. So you give yourself that, and then you go off, okay, so I'll be on my bike for 21 hours, and in those 21 hours, what kind of distance, what kind of speed I'll be able to hold, like whether it's 18 kph, but probably not 18, probably it's like going to be more like 20, 23, like an average. Some people might be able to go at 25 or 30, which is like obviously going back to that kind of speed, but as a beginner, it'll be probably like in early 20s. And off you go. You like calculate obviously like the time that you have, the speed that you're going to go as, and you work out how many Ks you're going to be able to do. Same if you want to get a particular kind of Ks done in a day, you work out the speed and the time you want to get it done in, and like, oh yeah, you work out the time that you want to get it done in, you have your number of Ks, and then you just work out the speed. And that's no drama. that easy. So something else that I have personally like noticed from my last ride, and I will be improving on top of having really structured brakes. What I've experienced in my previous slum ride is actually getting numbness in your hands. I have spoken to like a couple of pro riders, and I was also like listening to one of the latest videos that Harley had on his channel. He had like, I don't know, like this guy, I don't remember his channel name, but they were talking about doing these crazy long distance rides, right? And how your body handles it and stuff like that. So my body handled it wonderfully, like just perfectly. I could have not asked for better condition to be doing it in last time. So obviously like stretching out and feeling your body and going with what it's telling you to do, how fast you should be pedaling and things like that is like just perfect. But I found that the next, like in the following day, like I did have a bit of like numbness in my like just here, like in my like these two, you know, the little finger and like the ring finger. And it is because you're using this kind of side of your palm, like pushing onto the handlebars, like for that kind of long period of time, and that kind of doesn't stop the blood supply, but I think there's like maybe a nerve that runs that way, and is just like just not as like circulating, not as much. So because obviously when you're pedaling with your legs, like the circulation just like bang 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 goes, but like on your arms they're just like they're stationary. So something that I'll be doing with my bike to help that and to help with that is installing those, you know, elbow pads, like so I can change, like I have more of a variety of how I hold my hands on my bike. Yeah, so that is something that is definitely is going to improve, and I thought, like I've asked a few people like if people are getting it, but not too many people that maybe I've asked do as long rides. So that was very helpful that I heard Harley talk about that. But yeah, basically it is just working out why you want to get it done and figuring out what you're willing, how far you're willing to push yourself, how much you're willing to put into this. And obviously getting a really good night's sleep before the night before, stretching your body out, focusing on like different things through the ride, and just really allowing yourself to kind of center, relax, and focus. Just keep pushing. Like don't stop pedaling, even if you're cycling very slowly. Like you're still riding. Like even if you're going at like 18 k per hour, like it's still all good. Better than stationary, more k's than when you're stationary. And another thing that I am actually going to mention is essential oils. I had a tiny little bottle of peppermint essential oil with me while I was riding, and all I was doing is like throughout the trip I would just like put a little bit on my nose, and it just helps you kind of take those deep breaths, reminds you to take those deep breaths, and I think it like opens up your airways, or like whatever that word is, respiratory, I'm Russian. Yeah, but anyway, it helps you take really deep breaths, and it's very helpful. So I would definitely, you know, recommend that because it's pretty cool. Anyway, so I hope this was helpful. Hope you got something new out of it, something interesting. So remember to obviously look after yourself, depending on the weather, like if it's hot or cold or whatever. Drink a ton of water. Have really good nutrition, like keep that in tune, and just keep feeding yourself with food, and just, you know, not like insane huge freaking massive 20 bananas at a time, but like this kind of slow, like little bits and little bits and little bits. And I mean, obviously if you're hungry for something huge, like eat a big meal, but you know, I just personally wasn't really feeling too hungry just because it was too hot. Hydration, sleep the night beforehand, work out your bike, pump up your tires, make sure that you have spare tubes, make sure that you know your route, make sure that you know, plan out your brakes, make sure that you know how fast you're going to be riding to work out the Ks and things, and just go with the day, like feel how you're going on the day, and see what else happens, and video it. Man, video it and maybe post it down below, because doing 24-hour rides is like heaps of fun, and I am looking forward to my next one. Anyway, hope this video was helpful to some of you. Remember to stop counting calories, start counting hills, count your adventures, count your passions, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!